The U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. is the symbol of the American people and the home of the U.S. Congress, the legislative branch of government. The Constitution creates three branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial. But did you know, the framers believed that Congress would be the most dominant branch. In fact, they dedicated half of the original 4 pages of the Constitution to Article 1, which creates Congress. Why was Congress so important? Because if the legislature doesn't make the laws, then the executive has nothing to enforce, and the judiciary has nothing to interpret. But making the laws is not always a pretty process. It involves political deals and compromise and disagreements, lots of disagreements. Congress is made up of 2 bodies, the House of Representatives and the Senate, that have to work together to pass the laws. They also have to work with the president, who could veto their legislation. It's a process that can get really messy. Article 1 sets out the structure and powers of Congress. The House of Representatives is based on the population of each state. Therefore, Article 1 requires a census every 10 years to determine the population of the United States, so that seats in the House may be apportioned or assigned accurately. Due to the ever-growing population, in 1929, Congress limited the total number of representatives to 435. As of the 2020 census, a member of the House represents on average about 750,000 people. The House is considered the legislative body closest to the people because members are elected every 2 years and they can act quickly on the people's business. To be elected to the House, a person must be at least 25 years old, a U.S. citizen for 7 years, and a resident of the state when elected. The leader of the House is the Speaker, who is considered the head of the legislative branch. The Senate is based on equal representation of 2 senators for every state, regardless of size. Originally, the state legislatures chose senators, but the 17th Amendment, ratified in 1913, required direct election of senators. Senators serve terms of 6 years, with 1/3 of the chamber up for election every 2 years. Because senators serve longer terms than House members, they can slow down and reflect upon proposed legislation. To be elected to the Senate, a person must be at least 30 years old, a U.S. citizen for 9 years, and a resident of the state when elected. The leader of the Senate is the Vice President, who is the only person to serve in 2 branches of government at the same time, the legislative and the executive, but can only vote in cases of a tie in the Senate. Congress is the only branch of government chosen directly by the people. It's how we, the people, have the most immediate effect on our government. No wonder the framers of the Constitution thought it was so important. How does Congress represent the will of the people?